Cancer. This is your reading for the period of the full moon on September 9, sorry, the new moon on September 9 to the full moon on September 24. And while I shuffle, just like you to put aside anything that you're doing so that you're not multitasking. And your presence is right here, 100%. Take a couple of deep breaths, and as you exhale, release any tension or anxiety that you might be feeling. Take a moment to check in with your higher self and your guides, make a connection, and ask them to reach out to me into my higher self and my guides so that we can create a feedback loop of information and clear messages will come through specifically for you. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Okay, for some of you specifically, you could be dealing with a breakup or some type of ending, which is giving, creating some pain right now. Three of Swords as the heart of the matter, crossed by the Ten of Swords. So clearly there's an ending here for some of you. And there's other cards here in the reading that are suggesting that this could be a good thing. I feel like for some of you there's some other energies here, supporting cards that are saying that, it was really time. It's really time for something to move on and be purged from your life and let go of. And I feel like the World card here as the crowning card in the upright position is supporting that and suggesting that this is something that's timely, that has maybe been needing to happen, and now things are coming into alignment. And even though it's obviously there's some pain there and some difficult emotions to work through, it does feel like the energy being released from your auric field in a positive way. So there may be some turbulence while you deal with this shift, and process your emotions, and maybe while there's still some communication about this separation that's going on. But it does feel like this is something positive moving forward. And that you're being released from something which was not really serving you. Maybe it had, but now it's not. The Death card here at the top of the deck. So definitely some transformation and transition happening for some of you. You may not all be dealing with a breakup. Obviously this is a general reading. But yeah, let's break this down one by one. So as I said, heart of the readings, Three of Swords reversed with the Ten of Swords, crossing card. So clearly an ending. At the foundation you have the Devil card in reverse. This is suggesting that perhaps there was some unhealthy attachments, unhealthy relationships, some behavior that was not really healthy or supportive. In the position of the recent past, this central axis here is reading, it's talking about the energy you're coming into the situation with and what you're coming out with. And so here you have the Two of Cups reverse, which is, again, kind of leading me to say that there is a breakup or a separation happening with the Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords crossing. So the energy that you're holding right now is this Magician card, which is really positive. He's in the upright position, and beside him is the Empress. Now she's in the reverse position, but that's just, I would say, if you've been in a relationship that's now ending, then surely you would feel a little bit less, fertile or less what's the word, nurturing towards this person than you may have been in the past. But the Magician here upright is saying to me that you're channeling your energy in the right way, and that you're doing the right thing for you, and that this energy of the Magician is telling me that you are restoring your energy field in a way that has been needed, and that you're channeling energy correctly now in a way to restore and rehabilitate your energy field so that you can become into a better state of balance. Energy in your environment or around you is the Moon reversed with the Ten of Cups reversed. So again, having the Moon in reverse beside the Devil in the reverse at the base of the reading here, again suggesting that there's been some darkness in the relationship and perhaps unhappiness. And again, the Ten of Cups reversed with the Two of Cups reversed, both of these relationship cards in reverse position, suggesting that perhaps this is an ending of something that maybe was at one time fulfilling, but now is perhaps not serving you anymore, and you're moving forward away from it. In the position of hopes and fears, you have the Nine of Cups reversed with the Seven of Swords. Now, again, suggesting that perhaps some of your unhappiness and dissatisfaction has been because you've been maybe deceived. There's some dishonesty around you. Perhaps someone has been lying, and that has been something you've been feeling. Maybe it hasn't been out in the open, but at some level you've been feeling and sensing that something's not quite right. And now you're kind of taking matters into your own hands, it feels like, to make a shift that you need for yourself to feel much more in harmony and more in alignment with your own destiny, your own path. And then the outcome position, you have the Temperance reversed with the Page of Rods. Okay, so it would suggest that there isn't really a chance for reconciliation. Maybe the person that you're dealing with is a little immature and has not been behaving very responsibly or very adult-like. And the Temperance here is suggesting that you're not trying to make a resolution. You're not trying to resolve. See the Two of Cups in his hands here, and there's also these two cups here. So, there's it doesn't feel like there's going to be forgiveness or reconciliation. It feels like you are reclaiming your energy from the situation and moving forward. And as I said, having the World card there as the crowning card in the upright position feels really positive and really empowering. And it feels like you are taking your energy back in a way that's been needed for you to reclaim and restore your own energy field. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Three of Pentacles upright, the Judgment, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Page of Swords. You have two nines here in this reading, both reversed. So, again, suggesting that you have not been feeling very fulfilled in your dynamic. The Three of Pentacles is talking about, work or collaboration. So this could be about something in your work environment. It doesn't necessarily have to be about a relationship. Clearly, it won't be for everybody. But for some of you, this is definitely talking about a partnership, a romantic partnership, where you've been feeling unsatisfied for some time, and perhaps been feeling like there has not been clarity and honesty around you. Perhaps you've been dealing with someone who's been a little conceited and a bit deceptive and dishonest, and you are now taking this opportunity to see what's going on with clarity and dissolve the disillusion. That's what I'm getting. You're dissolving the disillusion and taking the opportunity to break away so that you can come back into your own centered, powerful place. But there's going to be some healing that needs to happen first. Obviously, there's some pain here that needs to be managed. Yeah. It's interesting that you have two page cards coming out here in the reading. One is in the reverse position, the other is upright. So again, the pages can talk about like immature energy, young kind of, behavior, Page of Swords reversed here could say that there hasn't been communication. Again, with the Seven of Swords here, I would have to deduct from that there hasn't been clear communication. Maybe there hasn't been any communication. Perhaps there's been what's called lying by omission. You know, perhaps someone's been leaving information out and not telling you things, and in doing so, they're actually lying to you. And maybe it's taken a little while for you to kind of put all the pieces of the puzzle together to understand what's been going on. But it does feel like here that you are, with the Ten of Swords here in the center of the reading and the Death card showing up, I would have to say that some of you are clearly deciding to cut off and end things and move forward and use this opportunity to kind of channel your energy back into your own well-being, into preservation of your own well-being, and take some time away from something that's been a little toxic and unhealthy for you, and restore, heal, do some self-nurturing, and take some time. Take some time for yourself. Yeah, as I said, with the Temperance card in the reverse there, the outcome position, it does seem like you don't want to reconcile, that you're not looking to, you know, resolve and come back together. And maybe that page of Wands there in the outcome position is saying that you're going to take this opportunity to kind of bring a fresh new start for yourself, being that the pages can also talk about new beginnings with a fresh kind of youthful, invigorated energy of like a fresh start. I just see this as a positive shift for you, even though, as I said, there is some like emotional resolution that needs to go on, but that's for you. It's not. I don't see this necessarily as you kind of trying to work things out with another person. This is about you reclaiming your energy and restoring your own emotional space and taking time to nurture yourself and channel your energy into things that are important to you, that are interesting to you, that are meaningful, and kind of extract your energy away from someone that you've been giving energy to, giving nurturing to, that hasn't been sort of nurturing you in return. It's a pretty short reading today, but that's it for the general reading, Cancer. I'm going to take the Voyager deck now and do your higher octave spread. So while I shuffle, just take a couple of deep breaths and send your energy over this way so I can get clear messages for you. The Voyager deck and the higher octave reading is going to give us a little bit more insight as to the karmic energies at play, like what's unfolding in a higher octave, and hopefully will provide some tools for you to better manage your steps forward. Worlds reversed, crossed by the Ten of Worlds, Child of Crystals, Seven of Worlds, Temperance, Death. You have a Temperance and Death again in the second reading. The Emperor, Five of Worlds reversed, Five of Cups reversed, the Magician again, Child of Wands, which is the same as the Page of Wands which you had in the previous spread. Seven of Wands, Seven of Cups, and the Chariot reversed. Interesting, really interesting cards here. It does feel like a pretty major transition for you with there being so many major arcana cards here. You have the Emperor, the Chariot, Temperance, Death, Magician, and a couple of repeating cards from the previous spread, along with two fives here. So, and you have the Nine of Cups again, as you did in the previous reading in the Hopes and Fears position. So again, like, it does feel like a major transition happening, and there is a big shift going on for you. It's an interesting balance here of like really powerful, potent higher octave cards from the major arcana that are talking about, you know, major changes moving forward, you channeling your energy into like your own, I keep getting self-preservation. I'm not sure why that keeps coming through. That's a message for someone specifically. But the Emperor here with the Chariot is saying to me that you're really channeling your energy into your own domain. Like you are kind of like looking at your own resources, your time, your money, your skills, your work, your passions, and how you're going to, this is talking about how you're going to create your own empire, basically. It feels like you're coming from, I mean, these cards here, like this half of the reading is interesting. You have a 5 of Worlds reversed with the 7 of Cups, and here is the 5 of Cups reversed with the 7 of Wands. So it's talking about coming from these energies of like loss and disappointment, and channeling this sort of warrior spirit energy of like fearlessness and courage and moving forward to kind of like turn the situation around, to kind of like, it's like you're addressing the entire lay of the land of your life, where you've come from, and you're sort of channeling your energy through the Magician into the direction that you want to go. And it's almost like taking stock of what's happened, and it's almost like you're deciding that you're not going to make the same mistakes again. Not that there are mistakes, but you know what I mean? It's like you sort of you're like examining what you did before and what was the outcome, and you're using that as like a self-educating kind of mechanism of like, okay, that leads to that, so now I'm going to do this and this and this, and it'll lead to this. So I'm going to go into this in further detail in the higher octave reading. If you're interested to hear more about what these cards have to say, then click the link in the description box. Cancer, thank you for sharing the space with me, and I appreciate your energy. I would recommend that you watch the general reading again right now, and then watch it again in a week's time, and as our events are unfolding, you'll glean different pieces of information that will jump out at you that will be more relevant as events unfold. So thanks, Cancer, and I'll see you in the next reading.